Hey, if you want to learn how to become an independent filmmaker or a filmmaker in general, I've got a book which I wrote with a buddy of mine. It's called Zan Azli and Wan Chun Hong's Guide to Indie Filmmaking. You can actually buy it off of here. I'm going to put the link down here at my website, fatbidin.com. It's only a couple of ringgit, and it's really good because it has many different chapters, the process of filmmaking, and each chapter I interview a Malaysian filmmaker who gives advice and tips of from their experience. So yeah, yay, link is down here. Yay. Okay, you are watching and listening to the Fabidin Film Club, and I'm assuming I'm Zan Azli.
I'm Shirley Wasson.
And as usual, every week we watch a local film and we review it. And this week we got invited to the premiere of a local film, The Evening Garden of the Mist.
Garden of the Evening.
The Evening Mist of the Evening Garden of Mist.
Set and stars one local person.
Yeah, but it's a Malaysian thing. It's a Malaysian story, I think.
Sure.
We'll find out. I mean,
Sure.
I'm sure there's going to be like a PC and all that.
Yeah. Big poster was.
Well, we cannot see. Because okay, so we watched The Garden of the Evening Mist.
And I leaked all over my baju, so I had to change.
So it's a Malaysian production with some foreigners involved and all that, mainly actors. Is the director Malaysian?
Not sure.
Oh, okay, but
it's called a Malaysian English drama.
yeah, it was in
You
English.
look it up online.
Yeah. So what's it about?
So it's about it's one of those historical dramas based on a book. Is the writer of the book Malaysian?
Yeah.
Do you know? So the writer of the book is Malaysian. And it's basically about a woman in the 1940s who has just survived the war in Malaya. So she was a prisoner, I guess you could say, in one of the Japanese camps. And she worked in the mines, and she had a sister who was also in the camp but was a comfort woman. So she lost her sister in the war basically, and she is trying to do two things. One, she's trying to find out where the camp was so that she can find out where her sister was buried basically. And the other thing is that her sister was like very obsessed with Japanese gardens
Because they went for holiday to Kyoto
just before
the war.
And so she wants to build a Japanese garden on her grandmother's land for her sister. So to do this, she goes and meets this Japanese man in Cameron Highlands who used to be a gardener in the Imperial Palace.
What's interesting also to note is that she, after the war, became a
lawyer
judge in the War Crimes Tribunal.
Yeah.
That was trying to punish.
Prosecute
Japanese war
Japanese
criminals.
war criminals. Yeah. She's very anti-Japanese people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very. And she has this. She sent so many to death lah. All these Japanese soldiers. Yeah. And she would keep these letters that these dead Japanese
give her
to give to their families. She never sent them to the family.
Yeah, she just keeps
Yeah.
them. So she meets this Japanese man, and she says that she wants to hire him to build this garden, and he's like, I'm not interested in commission. And he says, if you really, then she tells him the whole story lah, and he's like, yeah, but no.
Yeah.
So then The next day he says,
Okay.
I've thought about it.
I'm not going to do the garden for you.
I don't leave this place.
But you can come and stay
Yeah.
with me, work for me.
Build my garden.
Yeah, build my garden,
because
and
his garden is not finished.
Yeah, at the end of the day, you will know enough to build your own garden,
Yeah,
to make your own
for
garden,
your
to
sister.
sculpture your own garden, gardenize your own garden.
So she works for him lah, with his other
Indian friends.
bros. There was also Melayu. And she moves rocks and things, and she's very feisty, I guess you could say. So she comes off as a person like a real survivor lah. So she's very edgy, she's very feisty, she don't want to take your shit. So like when she's being asked to like move rocks many times, she's like not having it, that kind of thing. And obviously that makes him attracted to her. And he is kind of like, he's like the OG hipster, okay? Like lives in the mountain, speaks in riddles.
Speaks in code. The wind blows, hence your life shall fly. Listen to nature, as nature will tell you stories.
Balance.
Balance, like a seesaw, hence the bonsai plant will grow. Things like that.
Yeah, not at verbatim.
So the only two jokes that are made in this entire film is when she looks at him and says, "Do you always talk like that?"
You always have to talk like that.
Yeah. So twice. She said that twice. So those are the two funny parts in the film.
It was funny the first time.
Yeah.
No, the part. Yeah, okay. So anyway.
So what do you think of the film?
So okay lah. So basically, then obviously they fall in love with each other, and then it goes back and forth because it's also set in 1980 when she is now trying to vie for a position on the
Federal court.
Federal court. But there's controversy about her affiliation with this Japanese man. So they want to find out if he's a spy, and then through that the whole story unfolds. Okay, then I'm done talking about what it's about.
Okay, so what do you think of the film? You want to go first, or you want me to go first?
You can go first.
Okay. It's a boring film. I think uncles and aunties will love it. No lah, I think the film was well done.
Uncles and aunties always love historical dramas. Yeah, so I'm just saying.
It's well done, well directed, nicely shot. Acting wise, the old Frederick didn't know how to act. I felt very awkward for him. I felt he just shouldn't have been in the film.
Hobo.
Yeah.
Random hobo.
Yeah, the Chinese ladies, all the Chinese women in the film, they all acted quite well, I think. The main actress.
They're all seasoned actresses.
Yeah, and they're all great. Yeah, they're all great. So, Phua Chu Kang's sister-in-law did well in her performance. The only, maybe if because it's historical and it's like very try to keep to accurate facts and all that, one thing I threw me off because of that. One thing that threw me off was the lead actress. What's her name? Yunling. Both lah, the old version and the young version, didn't speak with a Malaysian accent. Her English was so Hong Kong and Taiwan, you know.
But they're Malaysian.
Yeah, but they don't speak with Malaysian accents. So I don't know if she's trying to sound like she's not from Malaysia. I don't know. She's trying to sound like she's from Hong Kong or Taiwanese. I don't know. You
maybe educated. Don't know.
So it threw me off lah, because my grandmother grew up. She's Chinese. She grew up during the Japanese occupation. She speaks like a Malaysian Chinese, right? Not like that if I were to nitpick.
So does she say hello like everybody in my family says hello?
Not really. She says.
Not very Malaysian over.
She says hello like normal. But then again, my grandmother went to English school and all that lah. She was.
She was
English, but she speak Chinese like Chinese lah, like how I speak you know, like that, like a Malaysian. So I don't know. I thought it was a very normal film. It was normal, and I think
normal like mainstream normal.
Yeah,
what do you mean by normal?
Very mainstream normal,
lah.
and also I think the fact that I grew up listening to a lot of Japanese occupation stories already, being in Malaysia, you know, a story like this was not special to me. We've heard these stories over and over again, and I think that this story is being hyped up due to exoticism lah. exoticism of the world looking at Southeast Asia. You know, oh wow, there are interesting stories there.
Are we trying
You know?
to just like segue from one MDB so we come up with like a nice local story? It's like, look, we're not just about Wolf of Wall Street. We also make like other stories.
Well,
I don't know.
this exoticism of Asia and Malaysia and Southeast Asia has been going on. Like Tash Au's books is very exoticized. They are normal stories. They are very very normal stories, but because it's the setting in Asia, in Malaysia, in Kuala Kubu Baru, and in Cameron Highlands, you know, it is exoticized for me to outsiders lah. You know,
So the film was not made for Malaysians. It's made for white people.
yeah, and every stereotype, everything you hear about the Japanese occupation is told in this story. If you're a
Stereotype
Malaysian,
lah.
yeah, I don't want to say stereotype because these things really happen in war, you know. So I don't want to use the word stereotype lah, but we've heard it all, you know. There's nothing special about it. We've heard
So
about
it's
comfort
the same
women.
depiction basically is what you're saying.
Yes, we've heard about the Japanese really hitting on the Chinese,
But I mean, if you're-
and then later on the Chinese really hitting on the Japanese, and then there's the communists, and you know how you know.
Okay, fair. But I mean,
Yeah.
if you're doing a historical depiction, then why would you stray from the facts? Why would you expect it to?
See,
anything
they
different?
tried to be different by having this Atimoto.
Romance.
What's is the guy's name?
Tomo. Ari
yeah.
Tomo. Ari Tomo.
Yeah, Nakamura, right? That's his last name, right?
Yeah,
Or first name, or
Nakamura.
whatever, Nakamura. And I know this because Nakamura is also a name of one of my favorite Japanese pro BMXers. So I can remember that name. And they tried to make it different by having this guy who's supposedly a spy.
But we don't know if he's a
Yeah, we
spy.
don't know,
Come
of course,
on.
but supposedly, you know.
Be fair.
Yeah, sure. And then they put in this love story, and that's how they try to make it different lah, different setting and all that. But yeah, and then there's a story about of Yamashita's goal, which is again that we keep hearing it over and over again. If you are Malaysian and you grew up in Malaysia, you know, it's a story for outsiders lah, for outsiders. But with that being said, I don't think it's a bad story. I think it's directed well, acted well, written well, you know.
Shot well.
Yeah,
Very
shot
pretty.
well.
Lush.
You know, but
Super lush.
very normal and doesn't appeal to someone like me lah. And another thing, and if I'm going to say, I'm very totally transparent. There's a biasness here too. This is a story that doesn't appeal to me. This kind of films don't appeal to me, right? You want to fault me for saying this? Do so in the comments if you want. It's for uncles and aunties. You know, it's I can imagine my mother or even my late grandmother will come and say, "Oh, yeah, this story is so good lah. Yeah, so nice. You
I
talk
cried
about,
so much, you
Cried so
know."
much, yeah. Oh, you know, but it ain't edgy lah. You know.
Zan's all about that age, you know.
Yeah, it's not edgy lah, but I get the fact that Malaysians are proud of this film lah.
Are they? They haven't even seen it.
Well, people are already talking about it, and
Yeah,
you know,
it's got quite a buzz.
yeah, FINAS poured in their support. The National Film Board
30%.
poured in. Is it?
It said a 30% film subsidy in very small
don't know.
print.
I don't know, but they poured in resources, and yeah, I can understand why people will be proud of it lah.
Yeah. Okay, so I like the fact that
I've got more to say, but it's okay. You go on.
Oh, you
Later
stop.
on.
Sorry,
I know.
carry
It's
on,
okay.
carry
So,
on.
no, go on. Because I think not nice also if we like one person talk and the other person talk. You got to have some banter also, right? In the
But then
reviews.
last time when we bantered, you always just say I'm interrupting you, so I just gave up bantering with you all together.
No, we
But
still
okay,
banter.
never mind.
Banter also
So
okay.
anyway,
But well, I can go on if you want.
yeah,
Then after that, just keep quiet until the end. Go on lah. You want me to continue or how?
okay, so what I liked about it. Okay, so I really liked that this Yunling character was very sort of strong. You know, she's very feminist in the sense that she was a survivor of some really truly horrible things, but she really didn't play victim, and she was always you know, she made it known that the circumstances that she's been through does not make who she is lah, or it has made her a stronger person and she's not afraid of anything now. She got nothing to lose, that kind of thing. I did feel that they were playing that survivor card a little too hard, because she was very hard throughout the whole thing, in a sense of where she
so in your face
she was just very in your face all the time. Like there's a part where they stop, there's a British checkpoint, and they're obviously checking for communists, and it's kind of just a routine check, and they just ask her a simple question of like, what are you doing in Cameron Highlands, and she cannot even like answer them properly.
Do I look like a communist?
Do I look like a communist to you?
Of course the soldier will say yes.
Yeah, and he was like, yeah.
That's why we stopped you.
And I was just kind of like, I get it though. I get the point of trying to show the tensions of like, look, I just fucking survived a war, so fuck you for thinking that I'm going to like turn on my country and all that kind of thing.
There was that scene where the communists came into her photo.
Then she turns around and fight the communists.
No, you think I'm scared of you? I've gone through worse.
And we're like, we get it. It's not to say that I didn't sympathize for her and what she had to go through and everything.
Yeah, it was very sad to hear the story.
No need so in your face. Like, already her character was enough. I felt like her character, her demeanor, the way that she was portrayed and the way she carries herself was already enough. She didn't really need all those additional, like, fuck you in your face, come fight me, bitch.
Maybe
sort of.
The novel was written by a man. Maybe a man thought a feminist needs to be like that.
Yeah, we're just all very aggressive and like in your face, come fight me.
I mean, that's why people hate feminists, because that's the perception that people get, you know?
No lah.
Yeah. I don't want to build a family, I just want to work until I die.
We can be quite chill lah sometimes, you know. We get tired also, I'm just saying. Anyway, so yeah, I really like that. I like that it's centered around this really sort of feminist character, who also kind of showed a little bit of femininity.
But what do you think of a male telling the story of a feminist? Because it should be a woman telling the story,
It
no?
should always be a woman telling the story.
So
but
that negates the whole feminist thing already, right?
You gotta give credit to the guy for sort of giving women the due respect of acknowledging that women characters can be like this, you know?
But then you have that.
What is sad though
in the face
is that
in your face,
a woman character will only be portrayed like this if it is written by a man. You know what I mean? Yeah, but that's not really
because that means women write like that.
No, but that's not really true also, because like we've had like women films like Motive that also portray feminist characters. So I guess we're progressing lah. So it's good lah.
I see it as a flaw in the character if a man writes it like that.
Oh, is it? Well, you mean the
it's too in your
part.
face,
Yeah,
too,
yeah,
you know?
yeah. Yeah.
Maybe
his idea of a feminist was a bit. I guess it's a double-edged sword. One, you get you get a feminist portrayed on screen, but two, you get a feminist interpreted by a man portrayed on screen. So,
but
you win some, lose some lah.
As a man, I get that misconception of feminists.
Feminism or feminists?
Of feminist people who are feminists, and the portrayal of that feminist like that lah. She's feminist, yeah. She's feminist. That's why she's like that. You know what I mean? Because that's that misconception lah.
Oh,
Well,
I felt
right?
she was feminist because I don't know, the fact that she rose above her adversaries was what made her a feminist to me.
Yeah, I understand that.
She was very like, the way that she carried herself was, so she looks everybody in the eye, she shakes everybody's hand.
Which is great.
She's very
but
and she's not gonna take your shit lah. But
the over aggressiveness.
The over aggressiveness was a bit too much.
And that is to me what people have this misconception of feminists. Oh, they have to be aggressive.
So
you know?
do you think
if you're not aggressive, then you're not a feminist?
So here's now something I'm thinking about. Was she then a good feminist character because of the woman playing her, or because of how she was written? Like these subtle things that we do like about her feminist character, did it come from the actress portraying that character, or did it actually come from how she was written? Because we already know that the parts where she's overly aggressive was written. So like all these small things, is it like, you know?
I don't know. Got to read the book.
We'll never know. Yeah.
Got to read the book. Got to read the script. Because we won't know. We won't know. But how the film is always so hyped up about an adaptation of a novel. it kind of shows that it was written lah.
But I don't know, the
It's
actress.
implied
But
lah.
the thing is, the actresses really, they delivered very strong performances.
Yeah.
So while true, it is implied that the character is from the book. I mean, it's obviously from the book. I think actresses who can deliver good performances bring something to the table also. You know, to add or complement the characters. So it could be either one lah. It's okay. So fine. So that was that. It is really short. It's a really well done production from all angles. But story-wise, and this is just a critique of the story, not so much of the film lah. The dude's a piece of shit, yo. Like, I feel like it's supposed to be this huge historical drama, romance, right? But there's really, for me, nothing particularly romantic about what transpired in the film. I don't want to spoil it lah, but basically he's a piece of shit. To me, he's just seriously this broody, OG, hipster, woke AF piece of shit that just kind of ghosted her forever. And he didn't really... okay, so we're talking about how feminist character written by a man, and then there's this whole representation of women by this man. And herein lies the sort of flaw when men write stories that involve women or for women, right? In the end, she wasn't given the agency to choose what to do with information that was important to her, and he sort of decided how everything was going to play out and sort of just did it his own way without really consulting her as an equal person. I didn't really appreciate that. I think she's already proven herself. She has already proven herself to be of sound mind. She's proven herself to be quite intelligent. She can think for herself. She's got opinions and everything. But so it shouldn't have been decided for her. I think, you know, it should have been, the information should have been given to her. And whatever happened, let the chips fall where they may from there lah. But at least she would have been given a choice to decide what to do with the information, you know, as opposed to go like 40 years and then only finding it out. It's tough lah.
I think she was of sound mind and more confident when she was older in the 80s. Not when she first met Nakamura. Because remember, when she was going up to Cameron Highlands to meet Nakamura when she was young, look at how overly aggressive she was to the soldier.
Yeah.
And when she met Nakamura, look at how overly
aggressive she was with him.
Yeah, her appointment was at 9, she came at 7.
Yeah.
And Nakamura had a point, you said, you can't even wait till 9, you want to wait for me for a few more months.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And she's very pushy.
Yeah, and then before anything also, she already screamed at Nakamura for wanting to defend murderers and rapists. Remember? Before she found out that Nakamura actually helped to save a lot of comfort women. So she wasn't, to me lah, she wasn't of sound mind or
she was still very emotional
and
and kind of also traumatized.
Yes. So there were a lot of reasons, and I think it's very grey also in the both. And this is a commendable thing about the film, is that both of these characters are actually very layered and deep. They are not black and white characters.
Yeah.
It's very grey.
Yeah.
You know, you've got this Nakamura guy, could be good, could be bad. You've got this Yunling girl who's been traumatized, overly aggressive, yet very intelligent. You know, but it's so grey and their characters are flawed. Both characters
very
are
human,
flawed, very human, yeah. Which is great, right? That's why aunties and uncles will like it. And you see the problems lah and of the relationship lah. You know. So when you and me, when we have these problems with how they act, hey, that's real life lah. You know, all relationships will have that, you know. And sometimes they get misunderstood and somebody gets lost in the jungle and never come back out. You know? Yeah.
Well, I don't know. If that were to happen in real life, in the context of like us, for example, I personally would not enjoy having people decide shit for me lah. So no lah, bro. But look, I'll tell you what. Their relationship and opinions on it are memang meant for people to. It's open lah. So like like you see it from a different perspective, and I obviously see it from a different perspective.
Yeah.
People who watch it are also going to see it differently. They're probably going to think that this is like the greatest romance ever. Oh my god! Look at what he did for her. Ah!
If you're an uncle or an auntie.
Or a really young.
It's so
young
sappy.
girl. Oh
The
my
film
God.
is too sappy.
I'm too like, I don't know lah.
Overly
I do
poetic
not feel
films or
I
stories.
just feel like taking away a woman's agency should never be romanticized for whatever intention. That was the main thing that was really bugging me about it. But I enjoyed it for the most part.
Look, when I say boring, right, I really don't mean it's a bad film.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I think I mentioned that just now.
You just
already.
mean that it's template lah.
Yeah, it's
Very
generic,
mainstream.
and it's not for me.
It's not for you at all.
Yeah, it's like how I hate Avengers and all the Marvel movies anyway.
Yeah, but we've seen some bad historical dramas that are not Malaysian.
Yeah.
Like First They Killed My Father.
We never finished watching that.
Yeah, but they didn't kill the father first, so it was already just bad. So and this one I thought did it quite well lah. It was not really draggy. It didn't really
It wasn't draggy.
over dramatize the historical drama bits. You know, like some they really try to focus on like the suffering during the war and focus on the trauma and focus on all the bad things that happened.
You don't think that happened?
I think it happened, but I think it happened
up on your head, that thing.
No, but I think it happened only during the first part of the film, and then like after that, they sort of moved on to the other things lah. So it was a part of it, but it wasn't like so overbearing for me lah. Anyway, I feel like there was still a little bit of loose ends. I don't know if that was intentional or not intentional, but overall it's very artistic lah. The main thing that hits you about this film is that it's very artistic. You know, you've got like a spider web and the light hitting it just at the right spot for it to gleam at you.
Mainstream artsy-fartsy lah.
And then you've got like paper door, and then there's a shadow of a butterfly opening it, closing its wings, and you're like, wow.
Yeah, really appeal to the uncles and aunties.
Very pretty one lor.
One thing that I actually liked about Nakamura's character is that, you know how Trump killed the Iranian general? With no regard of whatever implications could happen, because he decides to do that to his country, to other countries, and to the world, right? With no regard of these implications. And to me, the character that Nakamura played showed a lot of restraint that I think a lot of national and political leaders like Trump don't have. You know, I don't think there's any spoilers that we can give out lah, because it's all very well told. It's a story that's been told for so many times. So this is a guy who, like we mentioned just now, could be good, could be bad, could be, you know, he's
very ambiguous. Okay.
Yeah, and from the beginning already, you know that he was caught by the Japanese government.
What
invited
a mystery wrapped in an enigma.
Yes. Yeah. So he is, you know, the Japanese government after the war comes back to invite him back, you know, and he doesn't want to reveal a lot of things. Now maybe this could answer your question also of why he didn't want to tell Yunling things and all that, right? Is that he knows that there are implications way more than just that would affect him or even her, and it could affect like a whole country or countries' political relationship. You know,
and
if you were to review things,
and I guess also because she's in such a bad emotional place, you know, she thinks she's over it, but she's not really over it. Who knows what she will do with that kind of information, right?
Yeah, and again, that's even micro. That's again a very micro thing to think about, you know, an individual's feelings. You know what I mean? Whereas
no, I'm not talking about her feelings. I'm talking about the implications of what she would do with the information because of her feelings.
Oh yeah, okay. Because if he reveals it to her, it wouldn't be just revealing it to her. It would be revealing it to the whole world.
Yeah.
You know, and
Malaysia anyway.
Yeah, and for something like that to happen, I can see the implications, the political implications, you know, of things like that would be revealed. and how problematic it could be to, you know, things that define the war in a certain way. You know, yeah. So I appreciated that kind of social commentary, looking at how the world is today. You know, which is quite cool. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, will you tell people who are not aunties and uncles to go and watch it?
Go watch it. I wouldn't say don't watch it. Yeah,
I think
go and watch it.
I think especially the people who keep saying, "Oh, Malaysians don't know how to make good film," you should go and watch it lah, because it's a good film. It's just not for Zan.
Yeah. Oh, I have a problem with that though. Read my article in The Edge that's coming out on Sunday. So usually we release our film reviews on Thursdays, right?
Yes.
So my article that I wrote, my column in The Edge, will come out that Sunday after this Thursday, right? Where I talk about how now suddenly everybody says, "Oh, Malaysia got good film, Malaysia got good film," and everybody's saying it. Now that everybody is defined as who? To me, this everybody now who's saying, "Oh, finally Malaysia got this good film," you know, it's the urban crowd, you know. The urban.
That never actually go and watch Malaysian films.
Yeah, the urban
ever.
crowd, English speaking crowd. And I'm going to say this urban crowd, I'm referring specifically to like the Damansara Bangsa crowd, you know, Tamanton crowd, who would never give a Malay film a chance at all. They won't even go and see it because in their mind, all Malaysian films suck. Suddenly got this one English film and it's Malaysian. Oh, it's so good lah. Let me tell you, Police Evo was great.
Police Evo 2 was better.
Yeah, exactly. Police Evo 2 was the franchise lah. Okay, the series. The Yusof brothers, Shafiq Yusof and Shamsul Yusof, have been making good films. You know, especially Shafiq, you know, making really good films for the last decade. You know, and they've been making really good films. It's just not in a language that you consider up to your standard lah, and hence you don't go and watch lah. You know, yeah, but we've been making good films. You know.
So go watch it.
Yeah.
Go watch it.
Go watch it. Give it a chance. Don't expect
pretty.
it to be an edgy film.
You see a lot of Cameron Highland tea plantation
In the mossy forest.
in a mossy forest,
It's nice.
which we thought people don't like that you film anymore. But okay. Anyway,
But they were all filmed close-ups, if you notice, in the mossy mossy
so
forest.
maybe also not mossy forest, just like
Maybe it was,
Yeah,
but
very
because they got
mossy.
limited time to shoot and all that.
maybe who knows. Anyway, so go watch it.
Go watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do go watch it.
Let us know what you think once you've seen it.
Yeah.
Let us know if you also think Nakamura is a piece of shit.
Yeah. And
Let
maybe-
us know if you cried.
Yeah.
If you are an auntie and an uncle and you didn't cry, let us know.
That's what I was gonna say. If you watch this film, you might find out if you're an uncle or an auntie.
If you're like a young person who bawled your eyes out, there's really more to life than romanticizing a man who.
I
makes
cry
decisions for you.
very easily at films, and I didn't cry in this film.
I didn't cry at this at all. I was just
Yeah.
really annoyed mostly, and towards the end, like this man. Actually, no lah. He annoyed me throughout. He's just very annoying. Like, why are you like that? Anyway,
The whole story is annoying.
then got a random, So yeah, okay. So there you go. So
Like, don't like,
Yeah.
subscribe, follow us on all our social media platforms at FatBidin,
Yes.
or go to fatbidin.com to get everything. You've been watching and listening to the Fat Bidin Film Club. I'm assuming I'm Zan Azli.
and I am Cheryl A. Mustaman.
Okay.
Kai.